organ that doesn't get talked about enough when it comes to NAD is the heart, because a lot of people are worried about their heart when it comes to anything that is going to raise cellular energy, especially when it comes to coenzymes. I think it's directly relevant to people who are focused on anything when it comes to their heart, especially older people. The #1 killer of NAD+ is aging and metabolic stress. Unfortunately for humans, one of those leads to more of the other. So it creates this cyclical cycle of a depletion of NAD because one just creates more of the other negative. Restoring NAD+ has been linked directly to restoration of heart cells, as well as reducing certain inflammation in certain biomarkers. Now I could sit here and talk about all the different organs it benefits because it benefits almost all of them, but main ones to note are going to be liver, kidney, heart, and brain. Especially for people who have fostered an environment of inflammation, metabolic stress, or anything to disrupt the human body that can come from drugs, alcohol, bad food. NAD+ can act as a restorant for a lot of those bad habits that we used to have in our early days: overthinking, stress, anxiety, especially people who went through this in their teenage and even college years, where they've rotted themselves from the inside from so much anxiety and stress, which has become all too common in the modern generation. Most of those people have shot through their NAD stores, and it's one of the main reasons that as adults, they've become more lethargic, brain fog has become more prevalent, and they're not operating at the level that they know they're capable of, and they're wondering why do they have this ceiling that's been placed on them. It's from low NAD stores, which is why I say it's really important to get your blood done to make sure it's not from elevated estrogen or low testosterone or any of the other million biomarkers it could be from. But that's why it's important to only go through this stuff with a specialist. Because take it from me, as someone who's tried literally everything, is there's nothing worse than supplementing for things that you don't need. And then you end up creating a bigger problem by over supplementing areas that were already okay. I've done that dozens of times. One of the most overlooked areas when it comes to depletion of NAD is sleep quality. That's because everybody always thinks of cellular energy for just that. What am I doing while I'm awake? What is the production that I'm getting from my body? A lot of people don't realize that it takes NAD to get positive, restful sleep. NAD+ plays a very key role in the system that decides our recovery. People who raise their levels often feel that they wake up more refreshed and more restored. That's because while they've been sleeping, their cells have been hard at work at repairing their body. Now, far and away, I'll say this, the people I see get the best results on NAD are people that are stacking, are people that are doing things like enclomiphene, TRT, or doing a stack of peptides like an SS31, a MOTS-C, a TESA-IPA, an epitalon, something that they're already doing for bodily optimization. NAD is like what pours fuel on the fire. It's going to give the body, and specifically those receptors, the cellular energy they need to perform the function that those peptides are asking them to improve. When NAD is low, the return on investment often dips. The way I would compare this most for those of you who are coming from bodybuilding background is you would never do a steroid cycle unless you've got your TRT base, because you know if you take that steroid, it's probably going to crash your testosterone. The same thing can happen when we take peptides, because if you didn't know already, the only thing peptides are doing is telling our body to perform a function that it already does at a